Hey guys, it's been a while, a really long while, and we apologize for that. Life happens and you like kujipanga ni ngumu, but we are here, we are back, and I believe we are sorted. One of our 2021 resolutions was to do better. So we are back and we are doing better. So thanks again for giving us this opportunity to talk to you. Today we are going to address a few current issues, actually two current issues. We have the Eric Omondi and his case of the wife material, and we have BBI. So join us today for this episode, and we hope you like it.
Yeah, and just in case she forgot to tell you, we are going to try at least per week. We'll be shooting an episode. Per week, yeah, weekly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Velma, let's start on story. Eric and wife material. This thing has been bugging me, by the way, because I don't get it. Like, there's so much hate, so much spite, and I don't think are we supposed to be mentioning names? I don't think they would have come for Eric if there wasn't so much bile on social media. Like, social media was on fire. People were just like, oh, this guy is giving us bad content. Oh, this guy is doing what and what and what. And that is why it drew attention. Adi, Eric was arrested. Do you think it was justified for him to be arrested?
No, I don't think it was justified, because you're also responsible to what you see online. If you see like content Erika Ikubambi, then why would you scroll looking for Eric? You know, if any case I'm following someone and at some point he's posted something it's offensive to me, then I'll unfollow him that day and never will I go like looking for him on social media. So I don't think it was justified, really. And also, people forget, while you're doing this, Eric Omondi is gaining publicity.
No.
Bado, and I make money online, because out of your views, he's still making money. And uko hapo just watching, there's nothing you're gaining from that.
You're just watching it to criticize it. So bad publicity is still publicity. So yeah, thanks for giving Eric publicity. But
and I think he's gained a lot of followers. Something you forget also. And also a lot of following, it means more views, more money. And what are you doing with your with your mouthing? Nothing. It's helped you nothing. So I don't think it was justified to be done the way it was.
I share her sentiments, because where I first interacted with this story, fine, I'd been watching Eric Omondi's snippets on Instagram and what have you. And that's the other thing, by the way. Eric airs his content on Instagram majorly, and then YouTube. These are places where you have no business being on someone's page or business being on someone's channel, unless you're looking for their content in particular. So these people who are bringing him down already wameenda hapo, wameangalia kwanza, and then now they start bringing him down, which is something I had an issue with. Now, where this issue now started to make sense to me, Edgar Obare addressed it. He was like, today it's him, tomorrow it's you. You know? You can just stand there and be like, it's not affecting me. Sinieri tu anashikwa, jamaa kona pesa si atajitoa ndani. But at the end of the day, he was arrested over content that was on YouTube and Instagram. We are putting our content on YouTube. Siku moja tutakuja kuambiwa, oh, we called out someone and we are being arrested for that. As in, where is the freedom that these sites are supposed to be giving us? Also, vijana, kazi, whatever. There are no jobs out here. Mtu ameamua to create content and you're coming for him. As in, maze, technically, I think Kenyans have a lot of double standards. It's not right to judge a content creator by the content they create. That is what they're creating for themselves. That is what is putting food on their table. It's like this other time they were on Akothe's case. You're being a bad role model.
And what did Akothe answer?
Akothe,
I think she gave a very perfect answer. You're responsible for what your kids watch on social media.
Yeah.
Plus, just to add on that, I think if you would call this like a bad content, Eric Omondi's, then when I go on YouTube, I see
there's worse.
There's worse.
Yeah, there's worse content.
I can say is well off. So why would they go and start with those other people wenda tu for Omondi peke yake. It doesn't make sense. If it's something exposing our kids to bad content, then there's a lot of bad content on social media. A lot of it. A lot of ratchet. So it wasn't justified to arrest Omondi.
Also, I'd like to add on that, on what kind of content is on social media. Reality shows from abroad are way, way worse. They are way, way worse. There are some sites that people access through incognito mode. I don't want to mention specific sites. Kids can get worse stuff. Like, they can see it. You know, you're here complaining at your people are talking on the screen. People can see worse than that on some sites that they access. So at the end of the day, are you regulating the content that your kid is accessing? Why does your child have a phone if they're not responsible for what they're watching and consuming? Yeah. So at the end of the day, social media is here to stay. Whatever content is out there is here to stay. So what are you going to do about how are you going to regulate it from your end? You can't keep telling content creators, change your content. You're giving us bad content. You can't keep doing that. You need to address it from your end.
And I think we're in an era in this era, we should talk to our kids about everything. Because at the end of the day, even if I deny my kid a phone right now, at 18, he'll be in campus and he'll get access to all this what we call bad content. The question is, how is he or she going to manage this? How is he going to get over it? How, like, this content, how will it not affect or influence him badly? So at the end of the day, it's how you upbring your kid, the morals you instill in your kid, and the foundation generally you give your kid at a tender age. So it doesn't mean like it's bad content per se, but the morals that you instill your kid would really count even in future. Because if it means he's a bad kid mwenye anaenda angalie all those things, it means at 18 still.
But I'm not a bad kid because I watch wife material. I want to let me put it in context, a little bit in context. We are talking majorly about kids, and you know, people might be like, "Awana watoto, awajalia watoto," to the age where. So let's put it in context. I have consumed this content at one point in my life. Has it influenced how I carry myself? Have I started twerking online? Why? Because that stuff does not influence who I am. So at the end of the day, as long as the foundation is set right, you don't need to worry about what is out there. We are targeting the wrong person. We are deflecting blame and responsibility.
Yeah, because I think most of the choices I make right now are influenced greatly on how I was raised.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, let's move on. We almost didn't want to talk about this, but man, it's a current issue and it's pinching us somewhere. BBI. Veli, start us off.
Okay, personally, I haven't read that document. It's on my bado, and I don't think I'm planning to ever read it, because these politicians that are really pushing for it, the things that are telling zenye wanatuambia kwa ground, they don't make sense to me, because there's this addition of constituencies, and also that means at least you'll have extra MPs, and according to the government spends averagely maybe 52M on a politician, on an MP. So it means when we have more MPs, this will kill our economic status. Like it will kill it. And right now we are really trying to put up with the economy now that we lost a lot of things in 2020. Try kuirudisha where it was, but now when BBI comes, it will kill it even worse. It place at a very worse state than it was before. So for me, hata kama sijasoma, I think I'll stand for a no. Hata kama kwa ballot I'll get there alone, I'll still stand for a no.
Let me support her and be like, okay, and I think she's giving the disclaimer, sijasoma, because people are gonna come at us and be like, I'm jasoma ata, why are you disputing it? I'm jasoma. So what's the point of me studying for a history test and I do not take the subject? Like, what's the point? So I also haven't read the BBI, but it's been impossible for me to ignore the conversation, It's there for me. Every time I'm scrolling, there's BBI, there's what.
Every time politicians are talking about it all over.
Let me even start by saying it was so wrong for our politicians to focus on BBI when we were stressing over COVID. That was so wrong. That thing used to blow my mind even more. Like, niko hapa, I don't even know what the future holds. And someone is pushing some document. bado tu anataka tu iendelee, bado anataka mikutano ziendelee. It wasn't making any sort of sense for me. But my thoughts on BBI, first of all, I think at first I was mad to the MCAs for passing it in their county government, but I'm glad that they gave the opportunity to the people to decide, and I think that was what they were thinking.
Give shout out to those MPs who said no to it.
No, I'm kind of seeing it as a necessary evil. They had to pass it from their side ndo ikuje kwa wananchi. The democracy ikwe sustained. You feel me? Yeah. Like they had to let it be a decision that citizens make, which is a good thing. Now, when it comes to citizens, we are being baited. Like kuna kitu nika when you're trying to trap an animal, umeiekea mahindi hapo hivyo maize. The maize is what you're showing the citizen, but the trap that's on top, you're not showing it. And that is what is happening with us na BBI. So first of all, no, I do not need to read it, because first of all, I really don't think constitution needs a reform. I've interacted on socials, and people commend our institution for being our constitution for being one of the best. So we've not fully implemented it, but we're already talking about making changes that are not gonna help whoever they're supposed to help in the first place. So, and in the spirit of putting things in context, I like putting things in context. So you've mentioned something about debt.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like we are knee deep in debt already.
Yeah, we are knee deep.
This reform and this referendum and whatnot is gonna still require so much money. Adding these positions is gonna require more money. So like, why are we digging ourselves deeper in debt? It's like you have a lot of loans, you're on CRB, because I'm sure these are some of the things that people can relate to. You're on CRB, and then you're walking in town, and then you see these boots. Way above your pay grade. They're like 5,000 Kenyan shillings, and you've only ever spent like 500 shillings on a pair of shoes. But because they're appealing to you, you want to buy them. You cannot afford them. Even if you afforded them, they are not part of your budget. So why go ahead and buy them? That's what is happening with BBI. We cannot afford it. We do not need it. So why are we still buying into it? So my perspective was say, just be smart. We've come a long way being taken advantage of by our leaders. We complain about it. We complain about it so much. But what are we doing about it?
Yeah, just to add on what Chris just said, like BBI, the politicians have been telling us it's more about catering for us citizens. But in real sense, it's for their benefits. First, they are going to be allocated a lot of seats. So, and there's this point I heard a politician saying, like a while back, the way 2.5% is going to the CDF. So it means 2.5% of the government funds is going to accommodate for all of us, of which I don't think that is really enough for us. So at the end of the day, I think they're doing this for their benefits, but not for the common wananchi. And that's why I say no to it. Forever and ever.
You personally say no to it.
Yeah. So. But one thing I know, anyway, it's still our Kenyan government. It will pass. Yo nayo, najua. But my stand is a no. Itapita too. I'm very sure about it.
That's a question of democracy. Whether do you believe there's democracy? If anything, is there democracy in this country? Is there even democracy globally? Yeah. Because I think you've spoken like most of us feel. Itapita too. We may do our best to like resist it and everything, but itapita
because
too.
It's my responsibility to vote. I'll just go and vote and no. But in my head, najua tu anyway. Niko tu hapa.
Will go haywire.
It's my right to vote, but there is a...
Do we need recolonization, or do we need like civil rights movements to stop this menace that is lack of democracy?
I think it's about time Kenyans should just rise up and stand for what is right. Hata kama tutagoma the whole country, if it calls for that, then so be it. Because it's gotten to a point
because it's gonna get really bad. We have other countries in East Africa where clearly there is dictatorship, but they can't do much because they let it go on for so long. Yeah. So if you have a voice, first of all, if you have a voting voice, use that voice. if you have a voice that can reach to people and knock them into their senses, use that voice. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we just need to get it out there. Because, and there's this summary. I like summaries. I got in trouble with my geography teacher because I would rather not read notes. Na kuna summary. Same thing. It's giving me the same information. So there's this summary I encountered with on social media. It outlines what is the bait and what is the intention. From that summary, you can clearly tell whatever is being baited to Kenyans. Things like 35% to counties, and then a grace period for HELB loans. Why do you need your HELB loan extended? So that you can have more problems. Like, it will still be there. It is not going to move. Most of these things, honestly, they do not need a constitutional reform to change. But we are being baited to take in the BBI for these few things that they're handing us out at the cost of whatever we don't need do we need prime ministers? Do we need 360 members of parliament? Do we? The ones we have, are they doing their jobs in the first place?
I think the ones we have, they're just a lot. They're just many.
They're too many. Yeah. And we can't, unless waamwe kufanya kazi ya kanisa, like they don't get paid, then of course we can have like because 700 MPs.
Right now, I think we're at a very tough economic times. And instead of BBI addressing economy, it's addressing, I don't know, it's addressing about other things rather than economy. I think that's the reason why I think I'd recommend. There's this guy who came up with, is it Punguza Mzigo Initiative? Wakai, like, that thing has never been heard since then. And that's something that would help us as a country.
I think hata mimi nimeisikia tu bypassing, but I don't quite know what it is.
I think it was more about the economy of Kenya, how to revive it, get to a greater level. Yeah, and that's one thing BBI is not addressing, and that's what I'd like to hear from BBI, because tuko jobless huku nje wengi, my friend. We need this
ni kubaya. So yeah, I think that's about it. We don't have do you have anything else?
I think what I'd like to add, add zingine kwa comments if you need there's something wrong with the BBI.
We know it's tiring to think about it and to talk about it all the time. But it's a conversation we cannot ignore, especially if we want to create a better future for our offspring, our children, and also for ourselves, because we're just starting life. I mean, it's a conversation we need to have. There's no ignoring it anymore. Penye mefikia, we can't ignore it without damaging our future.
And I think as a country, youth tuko wengi sana. I think if we stand up together, we'll have a voice. Standing together in solidarity. Si atu wengine wako east, wengine wako west. Tuamue tu, like, we are standing together in solidarity. I think a lot of changes can be done in this country. Yeah, and I think we should do that as early as possible.
And I love Gen Z, the generation that's right behind us. Akina, my sister, they're quite vocal and assertive about what they want. Millennials ndo tunakuanga wa kuongea and then we don't want to talk. Voice out, because
we are doing this, then unajipata hapo peke yako.
Yeah, unajipata hapo peke yako. So yeah.
So for the sake of us and our children, we can do it. Yeah. And I still believe atuko nyuma. If we want to do it, we can achieve what we want.
Yeah, that's it for today. Bye guys. Join us next time. Interact with us wherever you want to interact with us. And till next time, bye.